Good morning, friends. So over here I've harvested an assortment of herbs and vegetables. So we're gonna make some eggplant lasagna. And so here I have lots of Thai basil and cinnamon basil. And I'm gonna wash the vegetables 3 times. There's a lot of bugs in here. I see 2 spiders already. Yuck. And I harvested stevia, so I'm doing a couple things. So I have stevia, tulsi, and goji leaves for my tea. So with all the airplane noise, I'm just washing all my ingredients while the airplanes go by until it clears. I'm in my outdoor sink area. I love this thing. So I'm going to wash everything, and then the excess water that I have I'll pour out into my plants, water my plants, and keep washing, and I'll wash it like 2 or 3 times. And so here I have some Korean or Chinese basil. It's very spicy and it's very big, but where it grew, it kind of looks like it could be the African basil. So while I wash, some of the times I take the leaves off the stems, and so in this case I took these leaves off the stem, and here I have a glass with the stem, and that's to propagate the basil further. So it is kind of too hot and late in the season to grow it, but if it does take, at least I get 1 more plant, and if it doesn't take, no biggie. That's my outlook. So I've got here some Cuban oregano, and so what you're hearing is this container is full of water, and it's overflowing down below into the sinkhole, into the drain, and into a bucket, because we don't have the system with the hose described earlier. So there's the bucket, and it's catching all the water from the drain, and it's just clean water. It's just bubbling up because of the, because it's coming down. Boy, this certainly is the season for spiders. I spotted at least 5 spiders so far, and had I brought this whole basket of vegetation indoors to wash, I would have introduced 5 spiders, creepy crawlies, into my house. And it's a good thing I didn't, and I washed them out here, which is one of the things that I wanted to do, because I don't want to bring in worms, spiders, aphids, etc. into my house. And so I have some mint here for my tea. I have some society garlic since I don't have too many onions right now, for the lasagna. And I have some shiso for maybe layering in there or into some other dish. So the goji canes are a pain in the butt because they're thorny, and there are tons of leaves, little leaves, and so I have to denude all the leaves and then take off the last few stems. The only thing is that it's worth it, because although it's thorny, you have a high value crop. So the gojis are quite expensive if you were to buy it from the store, but also it's worth it because all I have to do, look at this, I've denuded these goji canes, and I just stick these canes into the dirt and it will propagate new ones, and I can make a lot of plants for friends and family. Hi friends, so I made it really easy to make my tea. I just took the whole stem of stevia and the whole stem of mint, and I put it into the mugs. I'm going to pour hot water in here and then let it steep for about 3 minutes, or just keep the stems in there and drink it, and I'll have fresh, sweetened by stevia, fresh mint tea, and it's all from my garden, and I don't have to buy the bags of tea because I have it readily at home. And it's so easy. I don't even have to waste fuel, time, any resources. I don't have to add to the carbon footprint or anything. All I do is just grow something that even is invasive, and it's going to be delicious. I also have, besides this spearmint, I also have pineapple mint, which smells like pineapple. I also have pineapple sage, really awesome things to make tea with, and my goji leaves. So I'm going to do that in a separate tea. And in a prior video, I harvested goji leaves and I froze them in a jar in the freezer, and that's not the way to go because the moisture in the leaves, it just turns to mush in the freezer. So what I'm going to do is stick it in my dehydrator, the leaves, and once it's dehydrated I can stick it in a jar and keep it on the countertop once it's completely dry, and it won't go bad. And in case you're worried, you can also add a package of silica gel into the same jar. So that's what I'm going to do with the goji leaves, the mint leaves, the pineapple mint, pineapple sage, and that way I can have future teas to drink over the winter instead of buying it from the grocery store. So I've poured the hot water in there, and as you can see, the color of the water has started to change. It's starting to turn a greenish brown as the tea leaves are infusing, the mint leaves and stevia leaves are infusing in there. As you can see, it's kind of cooking that leaf right there, and it smells so minty, so fresh, and it's really easy. So if you don't want all this leaf in your tea and you just want to drink it, you just pull up the stem and remove all of it. So you don't even have to remove the leaves from the stem. You could just stick it in there immediately and have a fresh tea. Another thing I would like to discuss is that when you have a lot of plants in your garden and you just see a small bunch here and there, this is like our fourth year of gardening and having a homestead. And the thing that you have to realize when you look at the plants out there, you just think that there's only, a bunch of just a little bit of shiso or a little bit of basil or a little bit of mint or a little bit of society garlic or a little bit of eggplant, but really what happens is those little bunches add up, especially if you have a little bit grown here and a little bit planted there. And so when you look at your garden and you think there isn't very much, think again, because look at how much food I harvested in just a day. And so let me give you a list of some of the things we have growing in our garden. We've got to harvest pretty soon. We have shiso, pineapple salvia, pineapple mint, Mexican lime, bay laurel leaves, and kaffir limes, rosemary leaves, lavender, society garlic, eggs, lemons, lemongrass, Korean basil or Chinese basil, various other basils, mint, tulsi, Malabar spinach, jewels of opar, green beans, yard-long beans, zinnias, eggplants, a bunch of peppers, sweet peppers and spicy peppers, Cuban oregano, tomatoes, apples, celery, pomegranate, goji leaves, ginger, stevia, melons, sweet potato vines, and that's not including what we've already harvested, such as our shinseki pears and various other plants that have not made it to my memory, but that is a lot of food, and it's still green and lush in the garden, you know, except for what may be kind of suffering right now because of the heat. But when I look at each individual plant, like when I looked at my basil plant, it's my absolute favorite herb. But when I look at my plant, I think, oh, I only have a small amount. But then scattered throughout the garden, I have basil in various places. And I have this one shiso plant that was just a couple little cuttings, and my mom gave them to me with the roots, and I transplanted them in the ground, and it became a 4.5 foot tall plant that I only cut about 1.5 foot off of several of the stems, and look at how many leaves I got. I washed them. I'm currently drying these so that I can put them in a Ziploc bag and save them for later. And this will go into my lasagna. The basils, the mint is for my tea. I have tulsi in here. I have goji leaves in here. And then I have this Korean basil and some society garlic, some eggplants, some snacking peppers, which I'm going to put in there. I have some bird chilies to put into that as well, because I want it to be a slightly spicy, meatier, and more herbal lasagna, eggplant lasagna, rather than as much cheese. So we do have some ricotta cheese, and that's what we'll put in, but it'll mostly be the ingredients that I love and favor. So with that, I hope you learn that even though your garden looks like you don't have very much, even in the first couple years, you really do have a lot of food, provided that you use them. So have a great day. Please like and subscribe and share this channel with others, and we'll continue to make more videos so you can learn from them, and also so you can grow with us. Thank you. Bye. So here's the assembly of the lasagna, the eggplant lasagna. My husband's doing all the work. I did the prep work, and he is making the sauce. The ricotta is mixed in with the pasta sauce, so that's why it's got that creamy pinkish shade. And it's already layered and ready to be baked. I might make 2 batches.